Welcome back. The final game is an important one on day number 3 of the 2024 ISC Men's World Tournament. It is our last Blair Setford of 8 winners bracket games today. And we have had many outstanding contests. And in this one, we have the Kegel Black Knights against the JB Bombers. Your thought on what we might see in this contest?
Well, we've got two closely matched teams in terms of the rankings. JB played a very sparse schedule. They were actually up here in British Columbia a couple times, won a couple of big tournaments. Fargo Kegel Black Knights, as they always do, play a competitive schedule in the Midwest, but they don't play the Gremlins unless they happen to see them at the Boys of Summer. They're more competing against the Oma Tigres and the Marchios and the Ostranders. So this is going to be a step up for them, especially against Miker Pimentel. They haven't seen anybody like this guy tonight.
Well, he will be one of the hardest throwers. I don't think there's any question in this event. And there is Pimentel, the Venezuelan national team member. And in behind him, it's Torres Rodriguez, Nicolas Carril from Argentina, and right, Ismael Peña's the shortstop, Kyle Cowick at third, Jorge Lima, and Juan Villavazo with the New Zealand national team catcher, Tawara Bishop. And when we get to the batting order of JB, to have Flores and then Bishop back-to-back, could you have two bigger and more powerful men than those two? And this is the aforementioned Miker Pimentel, who at the Group A Men's World Cup qualifying event pitched Venezuela to 5 consecutive wins. He wasn't a part of all of them, Blair, but they dominated the round robin, only to lose their 2 playoff games. So now they're in a position to wait for the final wild card team, which they're in pretty good position.
They're in a good spot
to participate in the Men's World Cup. And if they do, the gentleman we're about to see will be a huge part of any success that they will have.
And just here, Peter, by the skin of his teeth, just got his visa on Thursday prior to the ISC World Tournament to get into Canada. So Miker Pimentel, his debut tonight, it was Juan Colombo the other night for JB in their opener 7-0 winners on Saturday night. They've been waiting to get onto the main diamond, and I think we're in for a treat here. This is 2 really evenly matched teams. Don't count out the Kegel Black Knights. This is a good squad here, veteran squad. They've got guys up and down the order who can put the ball in play. They're not a big home run hitting team. How they're going to handle the heat from Pimentel, let's find out.
Well, we're about to, and here's Pimentel's first pitch. Swung on and missed by the leadoff batter, who is Dustin Houts. I actually have Pimentel in his second appearance here in Softball City through 4 1/3 in their opening game victory against Emery Electric, the Chargers, a British Columbia-based team. And Pimentel wasting little time getting ahead in the count as he's facing Houts, who's 1 for 3. He homered in their 10-0 triumph in their opening game over the Chippewa Chiefs. And ouch. When this guy hits you at 80+, it's going to hurt. And it hurt Dustin Houts a lot as he's face down after being struck by the Venezuelan national team member and the ace of this JB staff.
Well, that was up in the body, too. Well, looks like it maybe got him on the wrist if he got the arm up in protection. He's holding that right wrist, it looks like, right now. Maybe we'll get a chance to see in the replay Luciano Lafrano just out checking on a couple of other pieces of equipment, but we'll see what he can pull up for us.
Well, it looks like it struck him on the forearm.
Robbie Schweier doing double duty, it looks like, as the trainer as he's come out to have a look. Robbie, athletic trainer in his other many careers.
Well, we'll see if Houts is going to stay in the game. But that absolutely knocked him down in a hurry as he continues to receive some attention. The Kegel Black Knights out of Fargo, North Dakota, were 3-2 in Denmark, Wisconsin last year. They lost out on the losers bracket side to the Toronto Batmen, who just fell to the Oma Tigre in the winners bracket in our most recent game. A very impressive performance by Rio Koyama, who's right down in front of us right now with his Japanese national team friends and teammates with the Tigra as well. And I'm not sure there's a bigger character in the event than the gentleman who wears number 35. He is worth the price of admission, Toriyama.
Yeah, well, I think the guy that might give him a run for his money is 22 in black and yellow here, Rafa Flores. He's always been a character. Dustin Houts continues to get looked at by Robbie Schwar. It looks like he's got some tape or something to get onto that wrist. Yeah, they've taped him up. So hopefully Houtsy is all right. Longtime friend and former teammate in Toronto Gators days. Always a favorite of mine.
Well, Houts, good to see him stay in the game. And here's Michael Lewis from Amboy, Minnesota. He was an all-world player in this event going back to the year 2021. And Pimental, throwing hard, finds an outside corner. Blair, do you have much of a scouting report on this gentleman?
Lewis?
No.
Honestly, Peter, I don't. You
no.
actually have seen him more than I do. I know he throws hard. I've been anxious to see him in person.
Yes, and I can fully understand why. I'm anxious to see him tonight, too. I watched him a lot in video in that World Cup qualifier, and it took me about 2 pitches to open my eyes, Blair, very wide, because you can just tell the velocity has a really good drop. That's the one pitch that I noticed, but there aren't very many pitchers capable of blowing you away with their velocity. This guy's in that wheelhouse, and trust me when I tell you, it's much higher than the 78.
Yeah, we're quite a distance back with the radar gun here, the speed gun. So
he can reach in the neighborhood of the mid-80s. I think he might be the second hardest thrower next to Marco Diaz.
That was the reputation coming in, and he came up yesterday to the booth here to come say hi to Luciano when Luciano turned around and introduced him around to us, and seemed like a genuine, nice young man, too.
Well, Pimental going to work at the ISC, and he strikes out Michael Lewis, his first, and there will be more, as he had 8 of them in the game in their opening tournament victory. No one had a better batting average in the 2023 ISC World Tournament than this gentleman, Jeff Lewis, who was a sparkling 12 for 15. And he hits in the number 3 spot. He's 25 years of age. Had 2 homers last year, 9 runs batted in, was the top batter. Swings, I don't think there was a touch, or maybe there was.
Well, a little animated here is Jeff Lewis, and the question is, was it a foul ball or not?
I did not think it was, Blair. Here's another look.
At the time, I didn't think it was a foul ball either.
The only touch for me was the glove of the catcher.
I mean, that happens so fast. I can't
That's tough.
tell.
I don't disagree.
But just live, it did not seem to me that it was a foul ball.
Tawara Bishop is behind home plate. And he is a man's man. He is one large human being.
Yeah, he is a big boy back there. So Houts is going back to first, so foul ball is the call.
It was Jeff Lewis, 2 for 3 already in game number 1, trying to add to that, and no match for Pimental, who has back-to-back strikeouts after hitting Dustin Houts to start the game. Stratford is from Wellington. He's 2 for 3. He doubled and drove in a run in their opening game win. Really kind of coming on the scene a little bit, Blair, in a number of different ways.
Yeah, young player from, as you just said, the Wellington area.
Played internationally in 2023 in an Oceania qualifying event that involves Australia and American Samoa, where he went 2 for 5 in that tournament with 3 runs batted in and 6 runs. And he had a mighty cut at the Pimental rise ball, but missed it. So Pimental, the other thing that you'll notice, Blair, and I know you already would have with your fantastic softball savvy, is he's a quick worker too.
It is nice to see somebody get the ball, get back on the board, and throw strikes just like that.
One adjective for Miker Pimental in the top of the first: overpowering. JB comes to bat when we return on the ISC Network.
Well hit, deep right field. It's curving. This one, well hit to deep right field this time, and that one is gone. Trying to put it away is Jack Bettsgrove. The New York Gremlins are world champions.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Start spreading the news, Joe Todd. It's New York, New York.
Coming to bat, the JB Bombers after Miker Pimental put up 3 strikeouts in the top of the first. And the leadoff batter for JB out of California is Ismael Pena, the 32-year-old from Tijuana, who was 2 for 3 with a double in their opening game win. Pena 5 for 20 with a double, a home run, and 2 runs batted in Denmark, Wisconsin. As he looks to kickstart the JB Bombers attack and dealing with veteran right-hander Josh Pettit.
Josh had a no-hitter in their opening game, a 10-0 win. That's his third ISC World Tournament no-hitter in the last 3 years.
5 innings, struck out 10, walked 1 in that no-hit performance. Rich Haldane down around field level.
And I'm guessing this is about the video screen, just guessing by where they're pointing. Yeah, we're going to probably need to turn down the brightness is going to be the ask, would be my guess, as maybe Rich Haldane is coming back this way. He's not.
Josh from New Zealand pitched in several World Cups, including a real starring role, Blair, going back to their victory in 2017, talking about New Zealand, the last time New Zealand won their 7th Men's World Championship.
Yeah, he really brought them a long way and advanced himself a long way. I'm not sure what the actual delay is here. Maybe it's not related to the video screen, but we're getting everybody involved in the conversations.
You are not kidding when you make that remark. Well, it looks like we're going to get set and ready to go back to work with Ismael Pena, who has a 2-strike count against him. And despite that, didn't it seem like it was the Kegel players who created the stir? And their pitcher had thrown 2 strikes. And make it strike 3 is, look at Stratford jump out from behind home plate, the young catcher.
Well, when this came up the other night, and it was on when the screen was white, and Luciano has changed the screen to have a black background so it's not near as bright, it was the catcher who brought it up, not the batter. The batter's looking out at the scoreboard. So if you're looking at left field, it's the batter, you're looking in the wrong spot.
Jorge Lima, the batter, he's from Caracas, Venezuela. Did he go around? They're not even going to ask, as Pettit misses upstairs with a rise. Now, Blair, my last research had him playing for the Scarborough Force back in 2016. My guess is he might have participated in other ISC World Tournaments since then.
Yeah, he's been with JB the last couple of seasons, a veteran here on the circuit. He's a real good, smooth veteran ball player. Does all the right things well.
And he has played in several World Cups for Venezuela. And swings and misses on the drop ball, it looked like that time, from the right-hander Josh Pettit.
Pettit's throwing hard, too. He's got some stuff going on.
Well, we expected a good matchup again, our final game of the day. As the winner's bracket will feature 8, and there's some quick reflexes from Josh Pettit to retire second baseman Jorge Lima without number 2. Did not have a lot of time to make that reaction.
No, that's a reaction play exactly.
Almost in your glove more than anything else. And here's the animated one. Another Venezuelan in Rafa Flores, 1 for 3. He's already homered here at Softball City. And when he hits it, it can go a long, long way. He had a qualifying tournament earlier this year for Venezuela in Hermosillo, Mexico. He was 8 for 21. Did not homer there, surprisingly enough.
Ralph, I believe, just turned 40 this year. He is a veteran up here in the ISC. He spent some time with the Gremlins. He's been a member of this JB squad for a few years now. He is a guy that, when he gets a hold of it, doesn't hear, but we'll pick it up his next at bat.
Well,
How's
he was
that?
6 for 16 in the event last year, now 1 for 4 after striking out at Softball City. No score after 1.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast.
Micah Pimental back to work. 3 early strikeouts as he's set to face Damon Creasy. Damon's from Wellington, New Zealand. He's 0 for 2 here at Softball City after Game 1. Played with Marchio Sausage in 2023, where he was 2 for 7. He homered and drove in a couple of runs. Also represented New Zealand earlier this year in Prince Albert at a World Cup group stage event. And Creasy takes in the inner half for a strike from the very hard-throwing Micah Pimental. And he has it up high in the velocity meter to begin this game. This one gets away, a chance for Bishop, and he has an absolute rocket, but the runner Creasy is called safe. As Viavazo won over at first, doesn't like it. He thought he tapped the bag for the out, and the umpire felt like he came off too early. That's why the call was made, and Creasy, after striking out on the pass ball, finds himself safely at first base. And now it's B.J. Gulick. Gulick hails from Wisconsin. He's the designated player, 0 for 3 in this 2024 ISC Men's World Tournament. Looks to lay down a bunt. Bishop, he'll throw you out from the parking lot, this guy.
Well, you just got a sample of the arm strength of Tawera Bishop right there. He picked that up in the batter's box, and Creasy, who runs well, had a running start, and even though it was a foul ball, but just for fun, almost threw him out.
An absolute rope. Look
Watch
at him
this.
turn and spin and zip. Well, all that for nothing, but certainly entertaining to watch, if nothing else. So, no balls and 2 strikes to Gulick. And Bishop does well to keep that from ending up at the backstop. It's the one area for Pimental. He can be erratic. But when he's on, there's a lot of that.
Swing and miss.
So that's actually strikeout number 5. Even though there's a runner at first base, he struck out too. Thomas Crouch, the batter, looking for his first hit at Softball City.
Tommy's a Midwest veteran, has played for a few teams over the years. Very cerebral in his approach. He's a teacher in his professional life. Very studious.
0 for 3, did drive in a run in their victory over the Chippewa Chiefs in their opening game. Has played for Circle Tap in the past.
Played for Circle Tap, Wander Springs. He has done some time with the Bar of Appleton, not to be confused with the Bar of Appleton Buzz, but there used to be another bar team.
Pimental, there's the drop that I spoke of earlier. When you face Micah Pimental, you better be ready, because it's coming. And remember, the rubber is 46 feet away. For those of you maybe tuning in and aren't overly experienced with the game, that pitch, if we're talking and making the correlation to Major League Baseball, is over 100. Because he's got to be in the low to mid 80s at least.
Yeah, he's coming up 80, 81 on our radar gun here, which we think is probably 3 to 4 miles per hour slow, just given the distance that it's reading from right here, right now.
Yeah, we aren't in a position, unfortunately, to have it like directly behind home plate, which would give you the best reading. A full count to Crouch with 1 on and 1 out. Rise ball. Might have been out of the zone, Blair, but swung on and missed anyway.
Well, you've got to be geared up for that as the batter. And right now, you don't have a pitch to sit on because the rise ball looks too tantalizing to not go after. He can blow the drop right by you. I don't know, Peter. I mean, you know more about him right now than I do. Off speed?
Not a lot, but will. But very infrequent from what I've witnessed. Logan Boom, the batter from T, South Dakota. In search of his first hit, he was 0 for 2 and did drive in a run in their opening game. That hit the umpire, and I hope he's all right. Bishop went there immediately.
Well, he didn't get a glove on it. That hit the umpire straight out of Pimentel's hand. And... no, they're saying foul ball. I don't think so. Did you have foul ball on that?
Not sure. It gets there so quickly, and it's hard to tell, Blair. I heard some contact, but that could have just as easily been the umpire first.
Well, that's what they're getting together to talk about. I think Trevor Topping nodding in the affirmative there. They had a swing on, and for a strike at least anyway, so.
Well, Creasy has moved up to second. Remember, he struck out and found himself at first on a pass ball and an interesting call over at first that was questionable. Micah Pimental. Micah is making short work of the competition early in this one.
HRD Bat Co. owners Nick Shales and Trevor Oakes want to bring the best quality bats to baseball players all over the world. Our pro-grade wood combined with our finish process makes them some of the hardest bats with the biggest pop in the game. Customization is our specialty. We offer a variety of handcrafted models and unlimited design. Visit us at hrdbatco.com. Play hard, swing hard.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports, focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product. Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Hard work, strength, and all-around commitment to getting the job done, and done right, is the motto for Lumberjack Sports. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.com.
Tawera Bishop, the JB catcher from Wellington, New Zealand, leads things off. 4 for 13 in the event 1 year ago with a double, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in, and he packs a wallop. 6 for 14 playing for New Zealand in Prince Albert at a World Cup Group B event. And Blair, one of his 3 home runs, they're still looking for it at Prime Minister's Park. Trust me. It needed flight attendants.
There's a reason why this kid was signed by the Boston Red Sox when he was 17. And he pursued that minor ball career for a few years, has come back to softball. He was a project, of course, at that time. And I don't think he got very far into the minor leagues, but he clearly had some raw skills, and the arm strength was one of them.
Yeah, the arm strength, the power. I can certainly understand why a major league team would have taken a crack. And in some ways, I feel like it can be an easier change actually to go from softball to baseball rather than the other way around. Now, some would really argue with me in a big way, but...
Well, the guy who's done it probably the most successfully was the guy that we put into the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago, the Kiwi, of course, who is coaching at the University of Florida now, Florida State, Travis Wilson, and had a great conversation with Travis when he went into the Hall of Fame. And he said, yeah, it's an adjustment. He said, baseball's harder. It is. It's harder to hit. He said, sorry, guys, but it's harder to hit in baseball. But he said the things that he learned in softball did definitely benefit him going over as a raw rookie into that baseball environment with the Atlanta Braves system.
Juan Villavazo is the batter from Tijuana, Mexico. And Josh Pettit has brought his best stuff, it would appear, early in the game for the Kegel Black Knights in their predominantly white uniforms.
Yeah, they've got a black set and a white set. Both look very good.
Agreed.
And Josh Pettit, listen, no slouch here. I know we've been talking a lot about Miker Pimentel, but Josh Pettit, no slouch. Like I said, no hitter in his first game, and he is making the ball move right now, and he throws hard too. Maybe not quite as hard, but no slouch out there.
Well, he's an ex-world champion. And Blair, in watching him in recent years, there's something that looks to me different right now, even in the first couple of innings, than when I've watched him in the past.
At times with Josh, his biggest enemy has been himself. He's got all the physical skills and size and tools. Sometimes he just can't get out of his own head.
There's a quality play at shortstop by Dante Biagini, who climbed the ladder a little bit. Boy, I've seen some nice work from the shortstop position early in this tournament, and that's a good play by Biagini to retire Juan Villavazo.
Well, just like Logan Boom, Dante is a second-generation player and grew up around the ballparks and has seen the game firsthand from a very young age.
Nicolas Carril from Argentina.
Well, Nico announced his retirement from the national team. And I had thought, the way I read the announcement, that was it for his career. So I'm happy that he is back up here playing this summer. He's been was a longtime member of the Hill United Chiefs, was an MVP in this tournament 2017, made the move out to JB a few years back, and has been a top guy on the circuit for the better part of a decade.
3-time All-World player. Change up. Pettit able to knock it down. Hope he's okay.
Wow, did that hit him hard. He was staggered.
I hope that was mostly glove.
Well, it looks like it got him right below the heel of the glove from this replay here. Maybe all glove.
It sounded like a little glove at least. I hope. Well, he's having a conversation with Nicholas Carril and looks like he's going to be okay. That's terrifying. And a base hit.
Wow.
But fortunately, Josh Pettit is okay. How do you compose yourself after that? Julio Cesar Rodriguez, the batter, and the center fielder. He's from Tijuana. He's 1 for 2 in the tournament. He's doubled and driven in, or he scored 2 runs. 5 for 15 1 year ago, and he has some home run power. He hit 3 home runs in Denmark, Wisconsin, and 9 runs batted in. 2 good teams in the final game of day number 3 of the 2024 ISC Men's World Tournament. This is our 8th and final winner's bracket game in the group of 16. Be down to 8 after this one, Blair, as far as the winner's bracket is concerned.
And we'll have part of that bracket tomorrow night with a couple of games in the winner's bracket, and then we'll resume with the other part of that on Wednesday.
Swing and a miss for Rodriguez. Who homered. One of his 3 home runs came against the New York Gremlins in last year's tournament. Swinging for the fences, but swinging and missing is Josh Pettit. Off to a nice beginning. He has 4 strikeouts. Pettit and Pimental, a couple of P's, Blair, in a pitcher's duel here at Softball City.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for you.
He came from Australia with a superstar pedigree. And from his first ISC in 2003, you knew he was going to be something special. 6 times All-World, a 3-time ISC champion, and now the first Aussie inducted into the ISC Hall of Fame. From counting materials and the farm in Wisconsin, to Kitchener, to finding a home in the New York Gremlins colors. Congratulations, Jeff Goolagong.
(0-0), a pitcher's duel. As we mentioned, this is Dante Biagini, the shortstop, who made a solid play defensively in the last half inning. Biagini from California, 1 for 3 here in Surrey so far. 2 for 13 in the tournament last year.
And Peter, here's a young player who has done what we were talking about earlier. Spent a year with the Gremlins, learned things on the bench, got in as a pinch runner, played a game here and there, and now he's out playing a very solid shortstop on his own, and that is the example that we'd all like to see more of. Blaine Melheim did the same thing, spent a season with the Gremlins 2019, and is now a superstar in his own right.
With the Northeast Drillers, talking about Milheim, and on the very subject, we might be watching a superstar in the circle.
Yeah, he is certainly somebody who looks like he could shut down some teams.
8 strikeouts for Micah Pimental, and up to 16 so far in the tournament. Dustin Houts remembers his first go-around. He was hit in the forearm, but able to stay in the game. That's been virtually the only blemish for Pimental. And he is just Blair roaring back and letting it go.
Yeah, and he's filling up the strike zone right now, too. I know you talked about whether he could be a little erratic, and that was one of the knocks I had heard through some of the scouting reports. Well, but even when he misses, it's not by much.
Well, that was the difference in Mexico. Early, it was this. And he was too much for everyone in the round robin. Then a little, and maybe nerves got to him a little in the playoff round, but nothing is getting to this guy right now. The only thing he's getting to is the nerves of the opponent. That's strikeout number 9. Which is interesting because he doesn't have 9 outs yet. That's hard to do. But the only base runner so far, well, there have been 2. A hit by pitch, and then a strikeout and a pass ball that led to Damon Creasy reaching base in the last inning as he deals with Michael Lewis. And don't even really need to tell you what has happened in the past. You know. K and more strikeouts. Two strikes. This might be a base hit, and it is. First of the game off Miker Pimental. And it's Michael Lewis up the middle.
Mike Lewis just put the bat out into the zone and let the ball and the bat really do the work. That wasn't the swing. And that might be the answer here for the Fargo guys. There have been a lot of big swings.
Yeah, you have to cut it down.
You absolutely need to cut that down.
Well, I have watched Diaz this year, and I think this gentleman, at least with my own 2 eyes, is right in the same wheelhouse. In fact, right now, from this angle, looks like he throws every bit as hard, if not harder.
It's deceiving with Marco Diaz how smooth he is. And his ball, when I talk to the players, it gets on you so quick.
Well, so does this guy. That's 10. Did give up a hit, though. And the most important thing, even if you're in awe of any of the pitching, it's still 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the third.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game? Every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports, focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product. Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Hard work, strength, and all-around commitment to getting the job done and done right is the motto for Lumberjack Sports. Learn from the best. Play like the best.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts.
Our Tigray friends from Japan enjoying some snacks. And there's good snacks here, I can tell you that. Never met a snack I didn't like. Kyle Cowick is the batter. And Blair, you said it to me before the game started. There's Pena and Bishop and Lima and Villavazo and Kyle Cowick on this JP team.
He's got the Canadian flag on his left sleeve. Everybody else has got Mexico, Venezuela. There's a Kiwi in there. Kyle Cowick and Tawera Bishop, they probably need a translator for the rest of the team meetings.
Kyle is from Vancouver, 2 for 3. Had a great opening game. He tripled homered and drove in 3 runs in their 7-0 triumph over the Emery Electric Chargers, named the best dressed team at last night's opening ceremonies.
So there was a small story behind that. Their uniforms are a light purple with some green trim. It's a funny sounding combination, but when you see them live, you either really like them or you might not be in that particular camp. But what I heard afterwards, when they ordered them, they were supposed to be a light gray, not a light lavender. So it's almost by mistake.
Interesting. Great story. Josh Pettit has given up just 1 hit himself. And he has 4 strikeouts to his credit. Watched, Blair and I did, Cowick play for the Sauk Loggers in last year's Canadian Championships in this ballpark, where he acquitted himself well. He had a couple of home runs and 9 runs batted in that event.
He's always been a guy I thought that maybe should have got more looks than he ever did from the national team. He was at a position, though, where they had some depth at the time. And maybe that was something that played against Kyle Cowick, because he came up through the ranks mostly as a catcher.
Well, he draws a walk from Pettit. The first given up by Josh. Now a little consultation with the coach. He's arm in arm, and what you're looking at is the meeting in the circle. Francisco Torres, the batter.
Well, Stratford just ran into the dugout to go get something repaired or fixed. And you get a shot of Yusuf Davis on the right. And I'm struggling with the name there, but they're waving because you're seeing it live here at home, but they're also on the big video screen out in left field right now. And there's some of the Japan players who are quite happy to get onto the video board here.
Torres, the left fielder, as we await for Jaden Stratford to...
Yeah, I'm trying to peer down to the dugout, and he was working on something in there. I think they're working on one of his shin pads, maybe?
Yeah, according to Marvin, our music man, who's a man of many talents, I might add, thought that they were working on the left shin guard. And you know that his daughter plays softball.
I heard that one of the local guys coaches her, and I actually ran into him over by the restaurant exit, and we had a great laugh about that story. He was so grateful that that you guys brought that up last night and mentioned Marvin coaching his daughter on the air, so she felt included in the broadcast. And
it's good.
Our reach is much further than we think it is.
Well, you always have to be careful.
Yeah, there's another story that I'll tell you later, too. Relates to last year when we were here.
Well, I'm not sure I want to hear that one.
No, it's a good news story.
Oh, good.
That's a good one, yeah.
When you've done what I've done for so long, it's always interesting how the bad stuff gets passed along far sooner than the good stuff.
No, and I got one of those too after the last game. So
Torres is the batter. Calic, after drawing the walk at first. Torres with a lovely bunt. I am so impressed already with one aspect about Jaden Stratford. When we watch the replay, just feast your peepers on how quickly he gets out of the back of the catcher's box to get to this.
And a good, strong throw. We've been raving about the arm of Tawera Bishop, and justifiably so. But Stratford has got a pretty good hose back there as well.
Great quickness to get to it in the first place. 2-4 for the out. And there's a runner in scoring position for the first time in the game. Is Ismael Pena. The JB shortstop would love nothing better than to cash in the game's first run. And Pettit misses outside for a ball. A veteran of a number of World Cups in his home country of New Zealand, including their championship run in 2017. Stratford, Blair, as you mentioned, shows off his quick release. Maybe not Tawera Bishop quite, but not far from.
Well, it was funny. We were talking about Rafa Flores and his willingness to throw anywhere at any time. Bishop can do the same, and Stratford here as well.
You have to be careful with those, though. I've seen those cost people key games.
I listen to a lot of the podcasts, the Dust Ups, the Outside the Chutes, the 222s podcast that you did a number of episodes on, Beyond the Dugout. I remember listening to Patty Shannon, but also Ryan Boland. And it's a low percentage play going after a guy at second, maybe a little bit higher at first, very low at third because of the consequences. So you better make sure that if you're throwing down there, you better have a pretty good chance of getting the out.
I'm not the least bit surprised to hear quality people who have played that position say that. I've always felt that way. I think the risk is far greater most of the time than the reward. Is Pena thought he made contact with the catcher's glove. That's what this is about.
Yeah, exactly. He turned and pointed right away at Stratford and claimed catcher interference. David Lee, the home plate umpire, did not have it on the call. That's a tough one to get if you're a base umpire.
Now, it's been quite humorous to watch the batter and the catcher, because Pena's going to Stratford, I touched your glove, and Stratford's going, no. Back and forth.
Yeah, and there's probably a bit of a language barrier, I would think, there between the two of them, but Stratford at least is exonerated on this one as back to the dugout goes Pena.
And how about a chicken wing? No, Pena to the dugout, courtesy of a strikeout. It's the fifth for Josh Pettit, and now Jorge Lima, who grounded back to Pettit in inning number one. Another one and a good one brewing to close out day three here at Softball City. Climbing the ladder, Biagini to end the third. Still looking for the game's first run on the ISC network.
Does your game need work? Want to get better every game, every at-bat? You need Lumberjack Sports, focusing on exceptional quality and providing players with reliable, long-lasting product. Lumberjack Sports brings you in-game equipment and off-field workout gear, designed and tested by top fastball player Nick Shales. Hard work, strength, and all-around commitment to getting the job done, and done right, is the motto for Lumberjack Sports. Learn from the best. Play like the best. Check out lumberjacksports.ca.
Catcher Jaden Stratford leads things off for the Kegel Black Knights in this 0-0 game. One hit for each team and a lot of strikeouts. Bunt attempt and the flare. There's the flare. We spoke of Blair earlier from the players from that part of the world. It's always very evident, whether it's in this sport or in the overhand version, I find.
Well, watch Pimentel just sidearm this over to first.
One away for Creasy, who struck out but found his way to first on a pass ball. Officially 0 for 3 so far in the tournament. And Pimentel bearing down again. And I like the first at-bat. When you're not putting very many balls in play, why not give it a go?
Right now, when you're up to, 9, 10, 11 strikeouts against you, you've got to do anything to put the ball in play and maybe force an error. So I got no problems with that one whatsoever.
He has 10 of them by my count. He has 11 of them by my count. Two away quickly in the fourth. It was B.J. Gulick trying to avoid another strikeout and maybe deliver a hit. The only member of the team to do that for Kegel was Mike Lewis, who bounced one back up the middle in the third. Miker Pimentel has come as advertised in his second straight appearance here at Softball City. He is throwing gas. And in this part of the country, it costs a lot.
No word of a lie there.
You know what disappoints me? I thought for sure I was going to get you that one. And you didn't even flinch. But then you got me with your non-reaction. So thank you.
The no-sell.
Yeah, the absolute no-sell. That one gets away, I think, more from Bishop than anything else. And a rare scenario where Miker Pimentel finds himself behind an account. That helps your strikeout count as well. Working from the best spot, not from behind. My goodness. That has some giddy up on it. And whatever else you might come up with. Full count to B.J. Gulick. Pimentel steps off, grabs the gorilla rag, in his back pocket for a little grip. And here it comes. And he missed. He's hit a batter, but that is the first walk given up by Pimentel. Thomas Crouch makes his way into the batter's box for the second time of the evening. Who's going to break this one open and remain in the winner's bracket? 7 other teams have found their way there today, including the likes of the Gremlins, the Hill United Chiefs, the Oma Tigre, and a list of others. This gets away from Bishop.
Well, Peter, we talked about how in the round of 8, we'll do one side of the bracket, then the other. It'll be the Grand Prairie Pirates and the New York Gremlins are on tomorrow night, along with the Bear Creek Express and Glowworm.
This side of the bracket will not go until Wednesday evening.
Yeah, Wednesday night it'll be the Northeast Drillers and the Oma Tigre.
That'll be a fun game.
The winner of this gets the Hill United Chiefs.
Which is somewhat interesting scheduling-wise for me because Northeast played a very early game today and then don't play until the 8 o'clock hole tomorrow night. Just the way it goes.
Actually, Wednesday. They get tomorrow
well,
off.
That's what I meant. You know what I meant.
Yeah, so they essentially get almost 2
days
full
off.
days off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think, did they not play a 9 o'clock game today?
They did. They played 9 this morning, as did Circle Tap Dukes, who were down. Glowworm are in the same spot. They'll get Wednesday off. So the teams that play Tuesday will get Wednesday off.
Well, Tommy Crouch strikes out. Miker Pimentel has 12 of them. But now he could use a little offense. There has been virtually none in the game.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com. Thanks to Jose and Peligro Sports for their support of the broadcast.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
Is that the Emery Electric Chargers?
That was the Emery Electric Chargers. That was not their award-winning paraphernalia.
They look cozy, though.
Not far from home. They're from Victoria, just across the Juan de Fuca Strait.
What a beautiful place that has been if you've never been. Rafael Flores, the batter. We've spoken a lot about Pimentel, but probably haven't given this gentleman his due. Talking about Josh Pettit, who's only yielded 1 hit himself. That off the bat of Nicholas Carril. And Pettit just happy that he's okay because it was a rocket ship right back at him.
Yeah, I mean, it's lucky he didn't go through Josh Pettit.
This guy could hit it through you. Talking about Rafael Flores, the longtime starting catcher nationally for Venezuela. And Pettit misses outside to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Flores.
Flores, another one of those guys, likes to call his own balls and strikes up there from the batter's box. Frequently. No.
Up the middle and a base hit for Flores. His second of this ISC World Tournament.
And he goes out to get this pitch, too. You just saw Josh Pettit was like, that was a good pitch. Way out and away. No business hitting that pitch.
As a pitcher, that's one of the ones where you just have to tip your cap.
And that was Josh Pettit. Look at Josh, his reaction there just as he went out of frame was like, how did you hit that?
From one powerful player to another, and Tawera Bishop. I will make you a prediction, Blair. Before this event is over, he will hit one a mile.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to take that one.
He'd love it to happen right about now to give his team a lead. And he tried to hit it a mile, but missed. There's Flores jumping around.
Yeah, watch Flores over at first.
Wonder who would win a character contest between him and Toriyama.
It would be close.
Tie goes to the runner. Stratford. Now Flores, now it's funny. He can jump around over there all he wants. He's not going anywhere. Who's kidding who? But it's still a lot of fun to watch. Let's face it, in so many ways, in this day and age of sports, there aren't a lot of characters anymore.
There's a lot of bland PR speak.
Well, we frown on it. They take too big. They take a lot of heat for being. That's the thing about our world today. If you're different, you take a lot of heat for it.
Yeah.
But sometimes different is great. In fact, greatness usually comes from different. And a strikeout from Pettit to get Bishop. His 6th of the game. A great pitcher's duel, and Stratford, he wants to throw it. And Flores looks at him like, who, me? And then taps his belly to say, where do you think I'm going? That's fantastic. Who doesn't enjoy that?
But Flores was a step off the bag, never flinched when Stratford came up and bluffed the throw. And then he put the hands out like, come on, bring it.
Yeah, and then tapped his belly. No balls and 2 strikes to Juan Villavazo, who grounded out to Biagini at shortstop his first time up. High pitch, fought off for Villavazo, who's probably disappointed knowing he swung at a ball. But when you have 2 strikes on you, anything that feels or seems close.
Well, you've got to protect, right? I mean, Joe Todd says this all the time. Don't leave it in the hands of the umpire if it's that close. Protect yourself.
Another 0-2 on the way to Villavazo. And that couldn't have missed by much. That's a quality 0-2 pitch. And interesting, he didn't swing on that one, but did on the previous. One seemed like it was far more out of the zone than the other. 1 on and 1 out. Rise ball. This time he went upstairs again, and Villavazo could not catch up to it. And there's 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. Where hits are at a premium, strikeouts are abundant. Between the two, 19 of them, Blair, in the game.
Yeah, this is the guy for me right here. If you're Josh Pettit, you want to be very careful with. Nico Carrillo in this 6th spot, he's almost hiding there for JB.
the drop ball, and you heard potentially off our microphones, feet to help out catcher Jaden Stratford, an impressive young player from New Zealand, as is the pitcher. Not as young, but from the same country. Foul just past Crouch over at third, as the battery mates have a conversation about the last pitch, and the product of Argentina set to make his way back into the batter's box in Nicholas, or as referred to by Mr. Setford, Nico Carril. There's also a Santiago in there as well that I've seen.
There is, and that is...
is that the real first name, potentially?
I think it might be, yeah. That's probably the first one on the birth certificate. It has gone by Nico and Nicholas. And
well, he goes in search of the rise ball.
But as with most of the Latin American players, there's also an extra last name as well. That, as you well know.
I do. Very familiar.
Yeah, it actually makes the research that you do even harder because they go by one name in one tournament and something completely different elsewhere.
Josh Pettit. He's a little like Stacy's mom tonight. He's got it going on too. 20 collective strikeouts. No runs after 4.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
If you enjoy great pitching, you've come to the right place, or in their case, it might leave you all charged up. Boo.
I see what you did there.
Boo.
I see what you did there.
Boo me, or Logan Boom at home plate. Didn't even know I was going to go there.
Logan, the son of Chad Boom, one of the greater players from the Midwest of the last 25, 30 years.
Pimental paints the outside corner to Logan Boom. Hard to catch up to that, even when you're seeing it for the second time.
Well, that one came in registered as 84. So, and he turned up the dial a little bit here this inning.
And yet that one just showed 7-8.
Well, it looked like it was just
looked
as
about
quick
98. Strikeout number 13. In case you're scoring at home. And here's Dante Biagini, the shortstop, who had a notion, but pulled his bat back. And nothing more, I believe, than ball one to Biagini. Pimental he has electric stuff. but falls behind in the count to Biagini, and Biagini with a pretty good cut. Grabbed over at third.
Well, this is where, Peter, him developing some off-speed will greatly benefit him, because when he comes up against the next level, you can throw as hard as you want. They'll catch up to you eventually.
They will.
You've got to develop a changeup. You've got to develop the ability to throw the drop ball at 78 as opposed to 88. And then maybe bring it down to 68. Because you get away with this for a long way.
But you still have to become, as time goes along, more
You've got
of a pitcher than just a thrower.
Than just a thrower, right?
There is a solid rip off the bat of Dante Biagini. High throw.
I mean, there's a great example, right? Dante Biagini, second time through, times it up and slashes one through the hole there between first and second.
And he turned on that beautifully. Second hit of the game. And as impressive as Pimental has been, he's given up more hits than Pettit. Although this is their fifth at-bat as Dustin Houts attempts to lay down a bunt. $20 total strikeouts, now 21 in the game. Pimental and Pettit, a couple of peas in a pitcher's duel.
You might even say two peas in a pod.
Well done. I know where you're going there, as you would like to say.
But they're about in the same spot in the batting order here too, right? Like 1 hit, 2 hits for each team. When JB comes up, they're going to be 7, 8, 9. We were 8, 9, 1 here. So they've matched each other pretty well.
They asked, but no is the call. 2 strikes on Dustin Houts, the leadoff batter for Kegel. Strike 3. We have had a 20 strikeout performance in this tournament. It belonged to Ty Sebastian of the Toronto Batmen in their opening game win. It didn't go quite as well for the national team member of Canada in his game tonight against the Oma Tigre. On the ground, nicely handled by Lima. Showed good hands. That's actually an inning that might build a little confidence for Kegel. But they fail to score. JB comes to bat in the 5th.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that. A fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
2 hits for the Kegel Black Knights, 1 hit for the JB Bombers, who bat in this scoreless game in the bottom of the 5th. There's Pettit and Pimental in a terrific pitcher's duel on the final game of the night in the winner's bracket. Round of 16. There will be 8 left on that side of what is almost a true double knockout affair. Not quite. You could win every single game and then lose the championship game. So it's not a complete double knockout, but as close as you could get for the 36 teams trying to win this event when the tournament opened on Saturday. Starting to get closer to the nitty-gritty is Cesar Rodriguez up in the count against Josh Pettit. And Pettit is virtually matched Miker Pimental pitch for pitch. He has struck out his last 3 batters in a row, up to a total of 8. Pimental has 14. And Pettit wanted that. Stratford asking the home plate umpire exactly where it was. Rodriguez, 1 for 3 so far in the tournament. He has doubled and scored twice. That occurred in their win over the Electric Emery Chargers, or the Emery Electric Chargers, from Victoria. Rodriguez put a pretty good swing on that pitch. Cesar Rodriguez represented Mexico in the 2019 Men's World Cup in Prague, in Czechia. Here's the 3-2. Ball 4, and not by a lot. Which team is going to break through? That's the question that requires an answer.
Look for a little small ball here, don't you think, Peter? You've got to take any opportunity to move some runners and try to force the defense potentially into a mistake.
Would be for me. But in this sport now, especially, it so depends on who the batter is. Just a lot of players now that aren't very capable, Blair. That sounds harsh, but that's the reality.
Well, it's not something, as Joe Todd will point out, it's not something that's practiced at all anymore, whether it's with bed knobs and broomsticks or whatever was being proposed the other night. I know what Joe's proposing because we talk about it all the time with the broomsticks and the ping pong balls. Yeah, I was going for the cultural reference there.
Very nice. Listen, that brings me to another subject, as Cowick looks like he would square around and does take strike 2. Blair, one of the great differences over the last 15, 20 years, who does practice at this level?
Most of these teams will do batting practice every morning. It's not quite what you think, where it's like a full-blown practice where we're out doing plays and whatever, that kind of stuff. But every team in the winner's bracket is out doing a hit around every morning.
But I think you know what I'm getting at.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's Allen Iverson.
It just isn't like the old days where you might play on the weekend, but you'd also like legitimately practice. When you're flying people in from all over the place for, by and large, what is a weekend circuit, you're not going to have team practices.
No. The guys will get together in smaller groups. Use the Gremlins as an example. I know the Hill United guys do this as well, and others, Bear Creek and others. They'll get together every other day in smaller groups. The pitchers stayed with Nick Mullins in Florida, and they work through the week on different things, scenarios. They'll go out and throw 100 pitches or whatever the number is, 50, 60 pitches, and they're working on simulations.
Steal attempt, and Stratford shows off his arm.
DOA, not even close. He was out by 5 feet. Watch the replay here. It's the accuracy, too. This ball arrives on a line and drops it into the glove right at the bag.
As I like to say, Blair, you couldn't have walked there and handed it to the second baseman in a better spot. That is perfect. Not good, perfect. From Stratford for out number 2.
And out by a mile.
2-4. And now 2 away. Buckle in, my friend. We could be here for a while.
I like the aggressiveness on the call there from Bob Berger. You've got to try and force the defense into maybe making a mistake there. Stratford shows up and makes the perfect throw. Now you know.
Still worth a go. I agree. Francisco Torres, the number 9 batter. He laid down a quality sacrifice bunt. He's from Laguna, Ensenada, Baja, California. That's a lot of names.
It is, and I've got him as a Ron Torres. That's what I've known him as the last few years too. So again, everybody's got different names that they go by here, there, and everywhere.
Well, it was your way on the card, so let's go that way. So Ron Torres?
Yeah, that's what I've got him on the lineup card, and I think when he first came over, it was playing in the Midwest with one of the Minnesota teams.
Well, we'll go that way.
It's
I copied it off the ISC rosters, is where I came up with that information. But it's the same human.
It is the same person, yeah, absolutely.
And the real name might actually be Francisco.
I think, again, it's one of those 2 first names, 2 last names, and it's the combination thereof.
Here's the only thing you need to know about Mr. Torres right now. He went down on strikes. Josh Pettit has 10 strikeouts of his own. To the 6th inning we go. Who will score first? It might take a while to provide the answer.
Do you need a reliable supply of products to run your business? Are you tired of having to deal with multiple suppliers to get everything you need? Absolute Business Supply is your dedicated, full-service business supply partner offering over 400,000 products and unmatched customer service. At ABS, we aren't just selling products. We offer a commitment to building meaningful relationships with our customers, getting to know your business goals so we can provide the best possible solutions for your needs. Find us on the web at Absolute Business.
Top of the 6th. And what do you know? Another strike from Miker Pimental. He's given up 2 hits and struck out 14. Josh Pettit has yielded 1 hit and struck out 10. And there is a good swing from last year's top batter in this event, Jeff Lewis, who struck out twice. And Blair, you mentioned it in the last inning. Maybe by go around 2 or 3, like we're in now, the timing gets better each and every at bat.
I think so, because the foul balls that we're seeing here, especially off Jeff Lewis, he's right on it. It's not a weak foul ball dribbler into the screen. It's straight back.
And Michael Lewis has had 2 really good at bats, his last 2. So they're starting to come around on Miker Pimental. But it's still been impressive to watch. And he doesn't catch up that time.
No, that was some good old-fashioned country hardball. Here it is. Hit it if you can.
And up to 15 now in the game. 23 in the tournament. And the young catcher, Jaden Stratford, he showed off his arm. In the last half inning defensively, comes to home plate. And you know what that was. Another old-fashioned country strike.
Robbie Schweier coaching down at first base. He's not showing it, but I think that got him in the leg.
I felt that, if he didn't.
Yeah, he's not going to give it up whatsoever.
The Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's no selling that.
There it is.
He's just looking out.
We just had a great look right off the right shin.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that didn't hurt, and a lot. Off Pimental, and there's a base hit for Stratford. Jaden Stratford from New Zealand. Looks like he has a chance to be one of those up-and-coming players to keep an eye on for years to come.
Tell you, the competition for that Kevin Herlihy Newcomer of the Year award, boy, Rio Koyama has looked really good his first couple of games. Pimentel, although getting a mound visit here from one of the coaches.
Well, interesting, even as I go back and play in my mind what occurred at the World Cup Group A qualifying event, it got harder and harder for Pimental as the week went on. And maybe it is as much about getting used to facing that velocity over and over.
Yeah.
Because I remember back to his opening performance in that event against Australia. He just blew the doors right off.
He was overpowering.
Completely overpowering. And then they got to the playoff round, and the Dominican got to him enough, and so did Australia in the repechage game.
Yeah.
As Damon Creasy comes to bat with one on and one out in the sixth. The third hit belongs to Stratford off Pimental. And Blair, I don't remember, do you, one change?
No, I haven't seen a change up tonight at all.
No.
Everything, it's been hard stuff, hard stuff, hard stuff.
Either up or down.
And what separates a guy like Jack Besgrove from the pack is, yeah, he throws hard. Not as hard as this kid throws, not as hard as Marco Diaz throws, but it's the movement. And Marco Diaz has got to change up. Jack Besgrove has got to change up. So right now, throws very hard, makes it go up, makes it go down a little, but he's got to develop some change of pace because this will get hit.
Well, Damon Creasy doesn't catch up. He's struck out 3 times in a row. It is fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because it's at a different level.
Well, and where the kid will need to develop is the next level up. When you get to face the Drillers, when you get to face the Hill Uniteds, the Gremlins, that's where you've got to hit your spots better because you can't miss down the middle of the plate and rely on velocity to blow it by Eric Ochoa.
Well, won't it be fascinating? Is it not Hill United if they were to win this game?
Yeah, I think that's they're in that path.
And that game would come up on Wednesday. BJ Gulick is the batter. can't imagine they'll try to run on Bishop. And there's a pretty good rip and a hack, as they like to say, by Gulick. Back to the screen.
Yeah, even as well as Creasy runs, he would know the arm of Bishop. Word gets around pretty quick, too.
The only thing working in your favor a little bit here is that you have a left-handed batter and a right-handed thrower. Makes it a tad more difficult. Pimental, there's the flare.
Well, and that's an athletic play, though, too, because he's got to throw that over the shoulder and loop it over the shoulder of a big, tall guy in Gulick. Did it well.
He made a few of these in Mexico, too, Blair. You're right. Highly athletic. Not easy. Well done. To the bottom of the sixth in a 0-0 tie.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Top of the order in the bottom of the sixth in this scoreless pitchers duel. 5 total hits, 26 strikeouts, 16 for Pimental, 10 for Pettit.
That's a lot of Ks.
Not a lot of Rs. None. Interesting looking swing by Pena that time. Literally on top of it to foul it back. And a late reaction at that for the JB shortstop, Ismael Pena. Just sounds like a shortstop's name. The 32-year-old from Tijuana. Pettit liked the spot, so did his catcher. The umpire at home plate in some disagreement. Pena 5 for 20 in last year's tournament in Denmark, Wisconsin. And had a good quality cut that time at the Pettit, what looked to be a drop ball.
JB last year dropped a game, might have been their first game of the tournament.
They did.
And then won 7 or 8 in a row in the losers bracket before running into Hill United on Friday.
They lost their first game, period, to RM Kurtz Enterprises.
That's right.
And then rallied all the way back to end up in a tie for 5th place in the tournament when it was all said and done, as Pena goes down swinging against Pettit for a 3rd consecutive time as Josh is up to 11 strikeouts.
And that was a real good pitch from Josh Pettit, a rise ball on the outer half, in fact, the outer batter's box.
Jorge Lima from Caracas, Venezuela. I just like saying the name Caracas. Swings and misses on the Pettit rise ball.
Yeah, you get into the meat of the order here. Lima, Flores, Bishop, Villavazo, Carrillo. All of these guys can hit a mistake, so you've got to be very fine.
This is a base hit. Flares it into short right.
Yeah, that was a great bit of hitting. Watch how far out he dives. That's low and almost off the plate, and he just slashes that out to right. Great bit of hitting.
So Rafael Flores, the batter, the designated player tonight. Can you string a couple together? Right out of his shoes. 2 pairs on that swing.
But late.
Very late. Torres does have a base hit in the game, as in Flores. Always the reaction.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep. You got to sell it. He'd have been a great luchador.
Not sure what that means, but...
The Mexican masked wrestlers.
Oh, I should actually know that. My son might know that, although that's before his time. But ask him any question about anybody in WWE right now. Oh, my goodness.
He's got it down, does he?
Got it down. He could be the next Jim Ross. The 2-1 pitch, again, late in his attempt to end the game with one swing. 2-2 to the veteran from Venezuela, Rafael Flores. Excellent drop ball. Well, the pitching is too much for the hitters. You don't need much of a case study in this game to figure that out.
That drop fell off the table when it got to the plate. Not a great swing from Flores, but you were not going to hit that with a canoe paddle.
Tawera Bishop, you know, he's going up there hacking at one. Takes a strike. Have you seen Josh throw many much better than this?
Maybe that 2017 championship game. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, he's pitched in 2 ISC championship games in 21 and 22 back-to-back. This is probably as good as I've seen him throw against an upper-level opponent.
That's a good lineup he's doing this to, including the New Zealand national teamer, Tawera Bishop. Stratford, his language, as in body, tells you what he thought.
Yeah, and I wonder if there's a conversation there right now, like, Blue, come on, you can't squeeze us like that.
2 balls and a strike to Bishop. Lima, the base runner, with 2 out at first. And Stratford went looking.
Stratford's got to keep his wits about him here a little bit because he's turning around looking at the umpire. That's a good opportunity for the runner just to take off.
It's probably not going to help his cause with a guy behind him either.
No, and that is a pinch runner out there too. Oh, no, it's not. I take it back. It was Lima.
Ball 4. Now it gets as interesting as it's been all night. Certainly when you consider the situation. Bottom of the 6th, a rare, and I mean rare, runner in scoring position. looking at the scorebook, I believe there's only been 2 in the game. 1 for each team. Nobody's been to third yet, let alone home. There's Juan Villavazo in a position to change the face of the game. He's grounded out to short and struck out. And now a mound meeting, or a circle meeting. Can't really call them mounds in this sport.
No, it isn't really a mound. We've kind of always imported that from baseball.
It is flat. If there is a mound, there shouldn't probably be one. Josh Pettit has been excellent. Does he have an answer here when he really, really needs one in the bottom of the 6th to keep his team in this 0-0 deadlock? Final game of 8 in the round of 16 in the winner's bracket. It has not disappointed. Gets away. Just to add a little extra intrigue.
That's the type of mistake that can come back to haunt you here.
The rise up and away, no real opportunity for Stratford to climb the ladder. But remember, there's 2 out. That would have been even more significant if there was only 1 away.
Yeah. Put that pitch away, drop away.
Villavazo swung as hard as he could, but missed it. Game on the line. A 1-2 count. What's your guess? Drop in?
Dipper away.
Dipper away. Drilled! Base hit. Second run on its way. The throw, not in time. And a 2-run single off the bat of Juan Villavazo has opened the scoring and given the JB Bombers a 2-0 advantage.
Bottom of the 6-2. That's going to put the pressure on Fargo. Josh Pettit feeling that one. I don't think that was the pitch that they should have gone with. They tried to get the rise by him, and it's up, but it's in the middle of the plate and able to punch that out. This is a good, strong play at the plate. He's around it there, and he is absolutely safe. He got the hand to the plate. Great call by our home plate umpire.
And a better slide by Tawera Bishop as Nick Carril gets hit. And what an interesting twist. They're going to talk about it. Remember, it was Carril who hit a rocket right back at Pettit earlier in the game.
Well, whatever Nico Carril might think, there's no reason whatsoever that Josh Pettit wants to hit anybody in this circumstance. So, I mean, you've just given up 2 runs. The last thing you want to do is put another runner on base.
Juan Villavazo breaks it open when it matters most. And JB with yet another runner in scoring position to add to it for Cesar Rodriguez.
Yeah, he very alertly went up to second on the throw and the play at the plate.
A ball and no strikes as JB has finally broken the game open. They lead it 2-0, and there's a swing on a ball that Rodriguez would like to be able to take back. That was literally up in his eyes.
Yeah, sometimes you're trying to hit a 5-run home run when a single will do just nicely.
lays off that high pitch, and it's called a strike.
Bit of a break there for Pettit.
Head coach wants a conversation. Was it about the pitch?
Can't imagine it was about anything else. Bob was certainly quiet about it, but Bob's never usually loud about too much.
Umpires usually don't like it very much when you argue balls and strikes. And
there's a way to do it. You just have to do it
kind of like he did?
In a question. Come down and ask as a question. But they're out of the inning nonetheless as they check the swing, and he did go around.
Juan Villavazo cashes in a pair. And now Miker Pimental has an opportunity to close out what's been a gem for him. Back with that on the ISC Network.
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
There's a 2 on that board, not zeros. Juan Villavazo's 2-out, 2-run single has given JB a 2-0 lead. Final game of the night. Final game of the day in the winner's bracket. 7 other teams have advanced. And the JB Bombers now 3 outs away from joining those other 7.
Oh, Peter, if I'm the Hill United Chiefs, I'm turning up the pitching machine tomorrow at batting practice to a couple of notches higher in anticipation of having to face Miker Pimentel.
16 strikeouts. He's given up the 3 hits. Been a terrific game and a great pitching duel overall. 29 strikeouts in the game between the 2 pitchers. This is not a strikeout. Not an easy play either for Jorge Lima, but makes it beautifully for the first out. He was deep back on the grass, Blair.
He's always played a real deep infield. He's spent some time at shortstop, second base, always has played heels up against the grass.
That was a very difficult play that he made look relatively routine. As Logan Boom fouls it down the third base side.
Jorge Lima and the shortstop who used to be on the Venezuelan national team, Yaider Chirinos, were as good as anybody up the middle for a number of years for Venezuela.
Baseball backgrounds?
I have to think so, yeah. Chirinos in particular, I think. The way that he swung the bat, but also just the way that he threw the ball. He was as good as anybody in the world at short for a number of years.
Well, Logan Boom and the Kegel Black Knights require answers now. And they haven't been able to find them off of Pimentel. Although the last couple of half innings, they've made much better contact. And Boom up in the count. And when you're down 2, you need runners. 3 balls and a strike to the Kegel Black Knights center fielder, Logan Boom. Slashes it, foul. 2 innings ago, that's a strike. A swinging strike. They've started to catch up.
Yeah, Logan Boom had some good swings. Dante Biagini in the 9 spot singled the last time through. If Houts could get on, Mike Lewis is a guy that has looked all right, but out on strikes there.
Boom thought he'd drawn the walk. Not so. Instead, it's out number 2 and strikeout numero 17 or 17.
You made me think.
I knew I did. Biagini looking to keep it alive, and he has one of the 3 hits in the game off Miker Pimental. And you'd swear that pitch was thrown at a high velocity as any he's tossed in the game.
Yeah, I don't think there's been much dip.
In the air, will it end it? The answer is yes. A 3-hit, 17 strikeout shutout for Venezuelan national team member Miker Pimental. And the JB Bombers advance in the winner's bracket with their 2nd straight win. And Blair, it was some pitcher's duel.
That was as exciting a pitcher's duel as we've seen here in quite a while, Peter. A couple of guys who were throwing the ball hard, and it came down to that one crucial inning. We said that early. It was going to come down to who can capitalize on the opportunity. JB, really, that was their best and maybe only opportunity, and they did.
Scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th. They win it 2-0. They advance to play the Hill United Chiefs on Wednesday, and the Kegel Black Knights will drop down into the losers bracket, but will be heard from again. For Blair Setford, Luciano Lafrano, Carl DeReste, and the nicest man in softball, Joe Todd, I'm Peter Loubardius saying so long from Softball City in Surrey, British Columbia.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com.